Hey friends, this is Emmanuel, your body code practitioner. I just wanted to do a quick video on regards to 10 things that may be holding you back from full fulfillment. And I wanted to do I guess this is a reaction video to a G-Eazy song, which is called Sad Boy. And I'm a big fan of G-Eazy. Some of his lyrics may be a little bit interesting that maybe I don't agree with. Maybe talks about my past life. But definitely there's a lot of things that, he's a very vulnerable rapper, and there's a lot of things that he says in there that are very, basically it's almost like his journal or his diary. And there's something that, when I heard the Sad Boy, it just talks about basically the idea of like having success, having all these amazing things, but then still being sad and not being content. And it doesn't only obviously work with people that are, actors or famous people. You could just be a very successful businessman, a successful stay-at-home mom that, maybe your calling is to be a stay-at-home mom, or maybe it's to be a successful woman entrepreneur, who knows? But the reality is what we all want, if we really get down to the brass tacks of things, is we want peace of mind. I think that's really all we really want. Why do we get insurance? We want peace of mind. Why do we go to vacation somewhere? Because we want to enjoy peace at this vacation area, have fun, which will bring us peace. But it's all temporary. If there's certain energies inside of us that are preventing us to really feel peace just by ourselves. We don't have to do anything. We don't have to be anything. We could just be ourselves and have peace. And I want to talk to you about, as a body code practitioner out here in Vegas, I just want to talk to you about certain things that I see in the body code system, which was created by Dr. Brad, about maybe if you've reached a certain point in your life, or maybe like either last year, 2018, or maybe 2019, you're like, okay, this is where I receive fulfillment. But wait, it's not there yet. Maybe this is where I'll receive fulfillment. And there's going to be a lot of people, millions of people this year, billions of people this year that are going to go through this like, I reached it, but how come I'm not fulfilled yet? What's going on? And my challenge to you is to open up your mind that we're energetic, emotional human beings, that we may have certain energies that are preventing us from feeling fulfillment, maybe receiving peace. So the first one, we're going to do 10 of these, okay? So if I mess up and there's 11, I'm sorry, but there's 10, okay? So there's 10 things. Number one, Dr. Brad discovered something called the heart wall. So the heart wall is, how many times have you felt like your heart's heavy, feels like it's going to break? A lot of people have. And what people don't know is that you're actually one step closer to your heart actually breaking. It's called broken heart syndrome, BHS. And it's a real thing. If you ask any cardiologist, they'll say that if you want to, what causes people to break their hearts is emotional stress, job stress, divorce stress. There's just different stresses in life that may be causing you to break your heart. And the problem is that what's protecting it, no one knows. The only people that know are about 4,700 practitioners in the world, including myself, which is that your body is taking these energies called trapped emotions, these little spheres the size of a tennis ball or cantaloupe, and placing it over the heart to protect it from breaking. And as we move along, we're stacking these energies over our heart. And these energies all have a specific emotion attached to it. So if you felt a deep sadness, but it affects your heart, you'll put a sadness trapped emotion over the heart, and it'll protect it for that time. The problem is that these 5 symptoms start kicking in. Number one, your energy starts getting lower. Number two, your lack of clarity of your mission in life starts getting, gets depleted. It gets more foggy about what you're supposed to do in this life. As it says in the good book, as you thinketh in your liver, no, as you thinketh in your heart, so are you. And the third one is when people start giving you love and affection, you're like, man, I see it, but I don't really feel it. That's a problem. What if you're a celebrity, you're doing very well, and people are giving you love, fans are giving you love, Instagram's giving you love, but you're like, I don't feel anything. It's just, that would be a bad thing. Or the fourth one is you're sending mixed messages everywhere because your heart is always sending out messages affecting the subconscious. Now, that's a proven fact under the Heart Math Institute, that they made a study that you're sending out these electromagnetic frequencies affecting the subconscious or the brainwaves of someone else. So technically, they measured 10 to 12 feet radius. But if you study anything about electromagnetic frequency, there's no end to it. So you can influence people all over the world. So you're doing this, and what happens is that what if you're sending mixed messages to your record producer, or sending mixed messages to your fans, or sending mixed messages, people become offended. And then you have to deal with that. Then the fifth one is it also blocks your abundance. But the main thing is if you have a heart wall, I think the best thing, the way to look at it is that you're starting to go numb. and that the world that was bright and colorful when you were a kid starts slowly turning gray. So what's the point? What if you fight really hard to get to a certain point, but then you have someone betray you, or then you have someone, a really bad manager, music manager, or really bad family members that are always against you. You're stacking those heart walls on the journey to becoming successful, but by the time you get there, you have this fat wall. Then picture this huge wall in front of you. You can't hug anybody. You can't feel connected to people. You start losing connection. What happens? Depression, anxiety, PTSD symptoms start showing up. And so I work with a lot of clients who have those three symptoms: depression, anxiety, PTSD. The common factor is that all of them have massive amounts of heart walls. And I actually have to go, I use muscle testing, and I find out, where did you get this heart wall? What age did you get it at? And we start releasing it. All of a sudden, they start feeling like themselves again, like the way they used to feel. That's number one. So that's probably one reason why G-Eazy why is he a sad boy? It's not him. It's a ton of musicians out there, or a ton of artists, or a ton of successful professionals. What did it take to get there? Probably a ton of heart trauma. And by the time they get there, they're like, man, my house is like dark. I feel numb. I don't feel the recognition that I deserve. See, and that's why he could be a sad boy. The second thing is called AHE, which means addictive heart energy. It's a little tongue twister there. Addictive heart energy is something that you create once you create your heart wall. So you're creating your heart wall, and all of a sudden this addictive heart energy shows up. What does this do? It creates destructive behaviors. It can make you addicted to things. It's trying to compensate for the fact that you don't feel much. So the body develops this addictive heart energy to say, oh, look, if you just work out a lot, or if you sleep with a lot of women, or if you sleep with a lot of men, or if you're just get addicted to video games, or any type of addiction or destructive behavior, or drugs, and a lot of artists use the drugs, it's to compensate for the fact that their heart doesn't feel much. But that's a problem, because it's never going to fulfill you. You have to remove that addictive heart energy after you release the heart wall. And so that's the second thing. The third thing is what if you have a memory field? G-Eazy wrote a song called "Everything Will Be Okay." That song is about his mom, that he found out that she had I guess a lesbian partner or something like that. And but that's not really what the "Everything Will Be Okay" was about. It sounded like he got shocked by that, and he would, whatever. The main thing that really hurt him was that he found her passed away, dead. And that's a thing, so him as a young boy seeing that. Now there's a thing called the memory field. Picture like a little cloud of memories. See, I guarantee I can't connect with G-Eazy because I don't have his permission to do that. But long distance, I don't. But technically, if I were to test and say, do you have some type of memory field in regards to your mother, I would find it. What it is it's this field behind his head of memories, but then it goes in front of your eyes. And so it's easy for you to recall traumatic memories. And so there's three types of them. There's one that's all your memories in general, a specific event, or a similar sort of similarities of many different events. So there's three types. And for him, it might be a specific event. And I can even find the emotion in the emotion code chart. If you see here, there's an emotion code chart here. And I would be able to find out what emotion is attached to that memory field. And if I can release that, his subconscious would start tapping into his mother passing away. Do you think you can be fully happy, fully accomplished with everything if the back of your mind, not even the conscious, the subconscious keeps tapping into a memory of someone passing away? No, it's hard. There's torment in the body. So there's the memory field. So far I got three so far. Heart wall, addictive heart energy, which is destructive, addictive behaviors. Then we got number three, which is a memory field. You could have your past could be easily recalled, and it's like subconsciously you can tap into it. If you're going into relationships, he was in a relationship with Halsey, whatever. Let's say, you have a relationship with someone, but you have a memory field of similar events throughout your life, and it's betrayal. Then what's going to happen is it's almost like you're fogged with these memories of betrayal. Do you think you're going to act the best when you're dating someone? Probably not, because you can easily recall being betrayed. The fourth one is a no will to live energy. What is no will to live? So how many times have you been really hard on yourself? So hard on yourself that you're just like, dude, get me out of my head. That's called a no will to live energy. And that's actually a body code energy. So if you release that energy from you, the problem is that it causes depression. It's hard to move forward in life. And it causes even suicidal ideation. So if you have one of these no will to live energies, even though the time has passed and you're being very hard on yourself, you still have it, which it's easy for you to feel suicidal ideation, also easy for you to feel like it's hard for you to move forward, and also serious depression. So again, another thing, I guarantee there's been some moments where he was being very hard on himself. Now there's a will to die energy. So there's no will to live, will to die. They kind of sound the same. Will to die is more feeling very overwhelmed in life and you want to just quit. You just want to leave. If you have that feeling, you actually created an energy called will to die. And that will stay with you. That also causes depression too. And for example, Sublime. Sublime has Brad Nowell. He was highly overwhelmed when he was creating his last album. Most people don't know, but that song, What I Got, which got really huge and they sold millions of dollars after that, he wasn't even alive. He actually, I think that was 2 weeks after his heroin overdose. So heroin overdose because he was just so stressed at the studio, and they talk about how just stressful it was. He probably had a lot of will to die energies stacking up, and then on top of that, there's drugs going on. So imagine that, feeling suicidal, feeling depressed, and then some heroin on top of that. Yeah, and then he unfortunately passed away. So you could have will to die energies. Even though you become very successful and there's no reason to feel overwhelmed as much or no reason to be so hard on yourself, you still have those still trapped in your body that still cause you to not feel peace. Then there's emotional resonance energies, energies that after a very emotional event, picture like a big bell, like bing, just kind of rings off. So those, imagine, let's say you felt angry at a certain situation with your album sales. Then you have this ringing energy of anger. So even though you're in a better place now, imagine always feeling angry all the time, or it's easy for you to feel angry. That doesn't give you peace. Then you have inherited emotions, emotions you got from your family. That could also, if you have a worthlessness, 40 generations up there, and it goes all the way down to you and your body, even your child has it, that child's going to question their worth, and you're going to question your worth, even though you're worth a lot, even though you're doing very well. The last thing is, or the last three things, heart wall. Obviously, I talked about the heart wall, but what if after the heart wall, you cleared it, let's say you worked with me, afterwards you're like, I don't think this is my mission in life. I don't think I'm supposed to be a singer. I'm supposed to be doing something else. That could also be keeping you from fulfillment, that you're in some place that you really love doing, but there's a bigger mission. Like you came up as a singer, but then you decided to become an actor. Like a heart wall can help you to have more clarity of your mission. So what happens after you clear it, that will give you more fulfillment because now your heart knows exactly what it wants. So I call it the heart wall post-discovery, like discovering your true mission after your heart wall is cleared. That's also keeping you from fulfillment. Then despair anchor. I was just watching Halsey, who she had a song called "Bad at Love." That could be a despair anchor, a negative thing that she said to herself, and it's constantly playing. And if someone meets her, she in the deepest part of her mind be like, at the end of the day, I'm bad at love, and she keeps attracting things into her life that confirm that, yes, I am bad at love. Even my sister was singing that song, and she's like, she changed it to like, I'm great at love, or I'm good at love, because she's like, I don't want to keep saying that, because if I say that over and over and over again, my body's going to believe it. And then if that happens, you might create a despair anchor, and then all of a sudden now you're attracting things to confirm that you're not going crazy. So that's called a despair anchor. And the last one is there's a thing called idea allergy. And we'll end with that one here. An idea allergy is an energy that's created when you're allergic to some part of something, like almost like an appendage of something. So for example, you can actually be allergic to love. You can be allergic to money. You can be allergic to relationships. You can be allergic to a lot of different things. And usually there's a trauma below it. So I have to always ask, muscle testing, is there an underlying cause why you have this idea allergy? So for example, I knew somebody who was who was on the way to success, and he had to do something with, he was allergic to money. And then if you look at why he's allergic to money, there was an image of his father, and it was around 13 years old, 12 years old, and I asked what happened around that time. He said, oh, at 13, yeah, he started making good money, and then he started cheating on my mother, and he was never there. So that trauma makes him never want to make money. He's allergic to it because he thinks he's in his mind and his energy that I'm going to be just like my father. So I just want to give you guys all these different things, that there's a lot of celebrities out there that are dealing with a lot of torment in their life. And even just if you're already very successful, doing very well, maybe you're like, I'm not fulfilled. There's something missing. Why is it why I feel like there's something missing? It's these energies that you've picked up on the way to your road to success that are still going to be holding you back to make you feel the perfect peace you're looking for. And so hopefully you appreciate this message. I went through a lot of these 10 different things, and hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you took notes. But this is something I work with clients all the time, and I just wanted you guys to awaken more and more to that this is an energetic, emotional world, and there's a reason why you haven't arrived yet. It's because your body, unless you release these certain energies, you won't have that feeling of arrival yet, because they're trauma that you have to release. And so again, this is Emmanuel, your body code practitioner. Hopefully you appreciate this. Comment below which was the energy that stood out for you, that you're like, I think I might have this, or I think I might have this. I'm always curious to know that. So go ahead and comment below, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye-bye.